All right, YouTube, this is episode 5 of the 80 series build. So, I have got the TE37s on. I swapped the tires over. Not sure if I had that done last time. I got all of my audio set up for this season. I got a freaking roof rack. I painted that myself. It was kind of sun faded. Got freaking snowboard mounts. Got all this stuff for super cheap. Let's see. What have I done? I finished hooking up the JRP gauges. So all those are working. I was going to replace this radio, this Alpine radio, but I actually got it to work with the subs. Found out that the front and rear diff lockers work. Just put on this leather shifter cover replacement. It's actual genuine leather, and it was only like 25 bucks, which is super nice. I showed you guys I swapped out the lighting, so we're gonna use some of that lighting right now. I did a fake leather steering wheel cover for like 30 bucks, 35 bucks, just to see if I liked how it looked. And it came out pretty good. I still have to steam this wrinkle out, so I gotta move all this back to the center and pull all that out. Center console fridge will be repainted. I got the paint sitting ready for it. I still do not have the fittings, unfortunately. Dang, this thing's heavy. What's in here? Oh, I got rolls of zins. Yeah. How about fun stuff? I got, let me show you the subwoofer setup I did and the quarter panel mount. Actually, I don't think you'll be able to see the quarter panel mount, but hopefully you guys can see this. I still have to replace this rear light. Light doesn't work, unfortunately. Next spring, I'm gonna take, there's two speakers in the front dash, and these two rear ceiling speakers don't work. There's actually no speakers in there right now. I'm gonna mount up a this 4-channel amp and hook up all 8 speakers in here. And I did a Scar Audio 10, a ported 10-inch box, which I think fits kind of nicely right there. Everything's hidden. Amplifier wise, did the quarter panel mount from Delta Vehicle Systems back here, and everything's all tucked away. Kind of annoying, but I had to I ran 0 gauge cable for the power, but sorry, there's a weird sound. It's my neighbor. But I actually had to run a ground back to the battery for it to work, and I'll show my work on that one. But subwoofer sounds really good. I thought I had some. Oop. Yep, that's the freaking. Okay, maybe I never closed the dash back or the hood back. Oops, I was messing with this thing earlier. Nope, it's definitely okay. What was I saying? Yeah, got the rear end all set up audio wise. I'll put another amplifier at some point. I might do a smaller amplifier because that one's a little bulky for a 4-channel. Let's see. The hood is not opening. Huh. Good old quality. Oh, that's why. I never pushed it all the way back down when I was working on it earlier. Oh, it's stuck. I need 2 hands for this one. Let's see. Well, hood is stuck, so I guess I'm not opening it. Cool. Ain't that annoying? Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch, huh? How did I do that? Well, it's the perks of older vehicles. Always something quirky. That's freaking hilarious. Okay, well, whatever. Undercutting's still looking good. Ended up doing extended brake lines, got all the extended sway bar mounts and all that stuff done. Ended up replacing all of the sway bar end links. I just did the rear end links yesterday. So there's the new end links. Ended up going with the Kong solid function bump stop mounts. Unfortunately, I had one of them crack on installation. I know it's a 3D printed part. So I do a lot of 3D printing, and I know not to torque on 3D printed stuff because it's really not that strong. So I contacted the guy at Solve Function and let him know I'm still kind of waiting a valid response. He just kind of said, okay. Looking to see if I can get a replacement if possible, or like a discounted rate for purchasing another one in case this one decides to break away. So kind of annoying, but they were relatively inexpensive. So what's next with this thing? That is a good question. What is next? Well, I was gonna pop the hood and show you. So I did the ACSD delete. I kind of posted a video of that. And I turned the fuel pin down. The boost reference fuel pin, not the max and min fuel pin. I was going to point to those, but since my hood isn't opening, I guess I'm not. So yeah, I changed the profile of the max fuel pin down some, and I went from 10 miles per gallon to 20 miles per gallon so far since I've done that. So I just filled up. I went about 430 kilometers since last fill up, and it took 12.7 gallons on filling up. So if you do the kilometers, I don't know what that is for, like kilometers per or gallon or liters per 100 kilometers. Holy smokes. But I did the math for the gas side of it, or for the miles per gallon side of it. And sorry, I got some chipping paint. That's annoying. And it came out to 20.2 miles per gallon, which is honestly really good. I'll take that any day of the week for how big this thing is. I like to get it weighed to see how that goes. Oh, and I've been chasing this issue, and I didn't make a video of it, but I was having this noise out on the front end, and with that I replaced the front drive shaft U-bolts or U-joints, and the sound would still come every once in a while. And what it ended up being was in the knuckle rebuilds, you've got the wheel bearings that sit inside this hub, and then under that you've got the spindle, and then the live axle ends sitting here. And in this live axle end, when you tighten on the wheel bearings, there's actually a brass bushing that it kind of sits on. And I did pack these things with grease, the spindle side, but I didn't put enough grease in there for how much this thing needed, because I've never done one of these before. So with that, that noise I was having was actually that brass bushing getting chewed up. So I replaced both brass bushings, and I have the new kit that has a needle bearing replacement that came in the later series. Let's see, where is it? So I can kind of show you what parts, if you ever have this absolutely god-awful noise. Right here. So let's see. So the those brass bushings are so they looked fine when I pulled them out, but like I said, I guess there wasn't enough grease to migrate up to kind of like the center line of the live axle. And so this is what the new updated versions look like. So you have a needle roller bearing, and then you've got the brass bushing ends, and usually these hold, you know, a little bit of clamping force against the live axle because of the torque on the lock nut for the wheel bearings and the preload nut for the wheel bearings. And I guess I just didn't, like I said, put enough grease in there to satisfy the requirements. So I ate up the brass. Instead of this and this together, the original ones are just all brass. And so I packed that thing and I slathered it up like it owed me money for this most recent time. But yeah, everything's together. So if I ever have to replace it, I'm going to replace it with the new needle bearing style ones and pray for the best. But yeah, truck's running good. I have like no complaints now that I've got the fuel turned down some. Mostly one of my issues was that, like, just with cruising, EGTs weren't high or anything like that. Like the vehicle doesn't make much power at all, but it was just taking up a lot of fuel. And don't get me wrong, since I've been working on it, I've been idling it a lot and like really not driving that far. A lot of it was like city driving, trying to figure out what that noise was, or figuring out the audio that I wanted to do and all this other stuff. So that kind of doesn't give you an accurate reading of like, okay, how does it do on the highway or whatever. But I noticed like I would drive up to my nearest town and back, and I would go through like half a tank, and this thing is a kind of big tank. It's got a 25-gallon tank. So I was like, this thing gets a shit fuel mileage, and everybody online says they get like 20 to 22. So I was like, well, let me mess with the fuel a little bit. But I can't believe the freaking hood isn't opening. It's kind of annoying. Whatever. So yeah, what do I have next? Oh, I got the turn signals in. Let's see if I can turn on the hazards and they'll turn on. These are supposed to be sequential, which are kind of cool. Yeah, pretty modern look. Kind of sick. And I got the LEDs in the rear. Whoa, super bright. And I did have to do a relay to slow down the speed of the turn signals. But yeah, with all of the LED lights, I think it has a really sharp look to it. Now that everything's matching, which I kept all the original stuff in case I ever do decide to sell this thing. So, but yeah, it looks really good. What else? Oh, next plans. I could really use some help. Buy some t-shirts or something. Send me money. But I'm probably gonna do a front mount to this thing, and maybe some fast parts if everything looks right. But I just got a quote from PDI out of Australia, and I'm probably gonna do their front mount kit and their intake, and then maybe next year do a turbo on here, upgraded turbo. But that stuff is not cheap. So yeah, we'll see. Waiting for them to get back to me on how much everything is going to cost before I purchase. But that, and I've been, obviously you can hear by my voice, I do not feel 100%. I've been going through some illness for the last month. So hopefully I can get this gunk gone. But the dog's loving it. Oh, I took some 3M clear PPF, and I'm not a vinyl installer by any means necessary, but you can't really see it. So I did PPF here all the way down because my dog, I'll have him jump up and down, and I noticed he can scratch the paint here. So I did a PPF cover, which there are a couple bubbles. Did a PPF on here so that way I can kind of save some of that. And super thick PPF. It was like 20 bucks for the roll. And I'm gonna find some other spots that may be high wear, and I'll add some PPF to it. I would really like to do the front bra area and on the hood at some point, Dude, I can't believe my hood isn't opening. What did I break? What did I do to deserve this? That is so funny. Let's see if we got any lights? I can feel the... Wow. I can't believe I did that. I'm gonna need 2 people to get that one. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for now. I'll do some cruising videos here soon. Now that I've got most of this stuff kind of buttoned up. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe if you like what you see and you see what you like. Please feel free to support the page by buying something from my website. I've got this thing came with this little switch. I don't remember I have a picture of which went where. I don't remember what this even goes to, but I noticed the light hasn't been lighting up recently, so it goes to something. Let's see what this thing says. I found out that this thing you can charge, which is kind of neat. I don't know. But yeah, this will be just video 5 for now. Just walking through what's been done and what's still waiting on AC stuff too. Haven't fixed any of that yet. But yeah, just to give you guys a heads up, we'll see you in the next couple weeks. Still waiting for the snow season to start, so unfortunately we haven't been out to shred yet, but it will happen soon, hopefully. And y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. God bless. Thank you. Bye.